Very good evening, dear friends, and welcome into our preparations for the reappearance of the Christ meditation. We just have had the full moon and had the very powerful full moon, I think. So it's good to follow with this meditation. I just remind you that for this meditation, we need to have a notebook, or it is a good habit to start to cultivate. Because it's good for us to write down our thoughts and then study them every now and then, what we have been gaining in our meditation. So let us start now with the text from the Reappearance of the Christ. And this is coming from the page 66. That, one second, there are some problems. Okay, we are here with Catherine, and Catherine is saying that she cannot hear. Michael, am I heard? Or if anybody can let me know via the chat that do you hear my voice? You are heard. Okay, good. Okay, so now I start. This is coming from the chapter 4, the work of the Christ today and in the future. In the future, the eyes of humanity will be fixed upon Christ and not upon any such man-made institutions as the church and its dignitaries. Christ will be seen as he is in reality, working through his disciples. That is good for us to reflect. Are we fitting to these categories? Through the masters of the wisdom and through his followers, who toil unseen and are usually unrecognized behind world affairs. The sphere of his activity will be known to be the human heart and also the crowded marketplaces of the world, but not some stone edifice and not the pomp and ceremony of any ecclesiastical headquarters. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing these words correctly. Our study of the future work of the Christ is necessarily based upon three assumptions. One, that the reappearance of the Christ is inevitably and assured. Two, that he is today and has been actively working through the medium of the spiritual hierarchy of our planet, of which he is the head for the welfare of humanity. Three, that certain teachings will be given and certain energies will be released by him in the routine of his work and coming. People are apt to forget that the coming of the Christ necessitates a period of intensive preparation by him. Yeah, that is said that the Lord Maitreya is in his plane in Tushita heaven and is preparing himself by studying the scriptures and in intense communication with Sanat Kumara. That period when he's reappearing and coming to the physical form is going to be the turning point in the whole solar system. Then our planet has reached the place, what can be said in very deep and significant ways of sanctification of the whole planet. So Christ too works under law and is subject to control from various sources, just as are all human beings, but in a much lesser degree. His reappearance is conditioned and determined by the reaction of humanity itself. By that reaction, he must abide. His work is subject also to certain phases of spiritual and cyclic timing and to impressions from sources to be found on higher levels than those upon which he normally works. Just as human affairs have effects upon his action, so great determinations and profound settlements within the will of God also have their effects. And that is somewhat interesting thought for us to contemplate what it would mean if Christ would not come on the physical plane. If the plan would be so, because I think that there was a possibility of that. It is said that after the world wars, um, Christ was making his decision that he will return physically. And that, in my mind, at least, is a question. What leaves the question that how the life would have been if he would not come. Would there be any difference? I don't know. Maybe we all can ponder upon that question. The human side or nature of the Christ, perfected and sensitive, responds to the invocation and to the appeal of men. His divine side or nature is equally responsive to the impact of energies issuing from the center where the will of God is known. Well, maybe it was said that it is that Christ will respond to the invocation and to the appeal of men. So is it now that the humanity has been invoking him so strongly that that's why he will appear on physical form? It looks like that. Between these two, he has to make adjustment and bring about right timing. The bringing of good out of human so-called evil is no easy task. The vision of the Christ is so vast, and his grasp of the law of cause and effects, of action and reaction is such that the arriving at right decision as to activity and time is no simple one. We can just tune to that, what it might mean for him. Human beings are apt to look at all that happens or that could happen from the purely human and immediate angle. They have little understanding of the problems, decisions, and implications with which Christ is today faced. In this, his pledged disciples share. Their task is to develop the mind that is in Christ. So that is our task, everyone's task, to develop the mind that is in Christ. And as they do so, they will help make clear the way for the coming of his feet, as the Bible puts it. Seeing life and events in the light of the spiritual values, as he does, will facilitate the giving out of the new teaching and will provide the skeleton structure of the New World religion, thus giving us a fresh view of divine intention and a living insight into the minds of those who implement the divine will and are the energy engineers of humanity's future. Let us therefore try and appreciate not only the opportunity which Christ has to help us, which is the usual presentation, but let us look also at the crises and problems with which he is confronted as he faces the work which he must do. And next time we will go into the crisis of the Christ. Well, this was giving us again a lot to think about and contemplate. And also, it is showing how living this relationship is with the Christ and how we all are meant to learn every day a little bit more and more about that. What is the mind which is in Christ? What is that loving understanding that we are all to develop? And so let us now go into our meditation, and please take your notebooks available. And if you don't have yet, so we recommend you to get one which is really dedicated to his coming. So alignment. Let us breathe white light in our own rhythm, drawing the light from the soul. See each of your co-disciples in the light. And focus your own triangles and your triangle members, visualizing the flow of love and goodwill passing between the members of this group and your triangles. Stage 1. Achieve a positive and intended personality quietness. And also the quietness in the group. Formulate clearly to yourself in your own words the answers to the following questions. 1. As a member of the new group of word servers, what is your specific and fixed intention at this moment of dedicated contact with your soul? You can reflect your um, points, what you were given or achieving during the full moon when you were reflecting the coming month. What are your near spiritual goals? Two, Is your concentrated and expressed personality purpose in line with hierarchical intention as far as you are permitted to know it? Three, have you in your own personal daily life earned the right because of definite effort and not so much because of success to stand with those servers who are now undertaking the work of preparation? And here Master DK is referring to the great ones, to the masters like Jesus, Master R, DK himself, Master Kutumi, and Master Moria. Stage 2. Now, having answered these three questions in the light of the soul, let us now say with emphasis, forgetting the things which lie behind, I will strive towards my higher spiritual possibilities. I dedicate myself anew to the service of the coming one, and will do all I can to prepare men's minds and hearts for that event. I have no other life intention. Let us all remember what we just sounded. I will do all I can to prepare men's minds and hearts for that event. I have no other life intention. Stage 3. Let us now visualize the world situation as best we can and in terms of our major world interest, and with what knowledge of world affairs we may possess. See now the mass of men everywhere glowing with a dim light, and try to recognize the quality of that light. And now, here and there, points of brighter light, where members of the new group of world servers and men of spiritual intention and of loving hearts are working for their fellow men. And also recognize the quality of that light. Then visualize through the creative imagination the vivid light of the hierarchy, and what kind of quality this light expresses. See that light streaming towards humanity. And slowly merging with the light which is already in humanity. Let us now say the first stanza of the great invocation. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. Now ponder upon the reappearance of the Christ. We realize that no matter by what name he may be called in the many world religions, he is still the same great identity. Reflect and speculate upon the possible results of his appearance. Let us again reflect. These some points what has to be in place before he can come. When a measure of peace has been restored, and what is now the situation on earth. When the principle of sharing is at least in process of controlling economic affairs. Three, when churches and political groups have begun to clean house. When all of these are in place, then he can and will come. Let us sound now the second stanza. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. Endeavor to concentrate your fixed intention to serve and to spread love in your surroundings. Realize that in so far as we can do these things, we are attempting to blend our personal will with the divine will. Third stanza. From the center, where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. Practical plans. Consider now practically what you can do in the coming week to further the preparations for the coming of the Christ. Take your notebooks and write down your impressions by the soul, by remembering that we are part of group of working forerunners who are called at this time to act and to do our part in the plan. In the presence of the angel, let us make a definite plan for the coming week and determine how we will help in the preparations. And let us have a few minutes of contemplation. closing. Let us sound now 3 times Om, dedicating our threefold personality to the work of preparation. Thank you, dearest friends. And tomorrow's program, if Michael, you would be kind and put, and is that traditional cosmic fire? Yes. So, and it starts at 5 p.m. GMT. So we welcome all of you to this study group and for the meditation. And now we close from Finland with wishing you a beautiful day, night, whatever it is your time zone, and lots of love and many blessings. And let us continue to do good work. Bye now from Finland.